morning and welcome to the first Friday flashback of remote learning. We're going to review some old concepts and use application to kind of dissect the properties that we have learned in the past. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about is multiplying exponents when you have the same base. For example, right here, okay, your base is m and you add the exponents. 5 plus 3 gives you 8, and then you multiply the coefficients. 6 times 7 is 42. So your final answer is 42m squared, m to the 8th. Oops. All right, now 2 and 3 have us go in reverse. We are given the product or the final answer, and we have to figure out what we can replace this question mark with to make this product true. Okay, and we have the same bases, right? So m to the 4th, so we have 4 m's, and how many more? Well, we need 2 more m's to get m to the 6th, all right? So the question mark here is 2, all right? In the next problem, we have 2 question marks, one at the coefficient here and one at the exponent. And 12 times what gives you 48? Well, 12 times 4. And then we have m to the 6th times m to the what gives us 14. Well, 6 plus 8 is 14. All right, so the coefficient, write that better, is 4, and then the exponent would be 8. All right, now we're going to review area and apply our properties for exponents. So question number 4, find the area of this square. Well, to refresh your memory, the area of a square is area equals side squared, because a property of a square is that all the side lengths are the same or congruent. So now I'm going to plug in what I know. I don't know the area, but I know the side length squared, okay? So if I write this out longhand and then apply my properties, 3 times 3 is 9, and then x squared times x squared gives me x to the 4th, and square units for our label. Number 5, same thing. Find the side length of a square with the area of 400 inches squared. So now I have the area. Again, it's always good to write down the formula and then plug in what you know. Well, I know the area is 400 inches squared, but I don't know the side length. But I can find the side length. I can either write this out, 400 equals what number times itself, s would equal 20, or I can find the square root of each side. The square root of s squared is s, and the square root of 400 is 20. So the side length, each side length on this square is 20 squared, 20 inches. Okay. All right, number 6, same thing. We're working in reverse, and I would pause the video. Try this one on your own, and then start again. Find the side of the square with an area of 4x squared. So you have area equals my formula. I plug in what I know. I have the area, so I'm doing 4x squared equals s squared. I find the square root of each, and the square root of 4 is 2. Square root of x squared is x. So each side is 2x inches. And I can check my work back, right? Just 2x times 2x, and that does in fact equal 4x squared. Okay. Now, hopefully for this one you tried fast FOIL, but again, you can do it out first, outer, inner, last, not an issue. But because the coefficient here is 1 and the coefficient here is 1, and I hid the x's, I'm going to use fast FOIL. So I'll have x squared. I'm going to erase that. Then I add these two terms. Negative 14 plus a negative 2 is negative 16x in the middle. And then I'm going to multiply them. Negative 14 times a negative 2 is a positive 28. All right. And so number 8, fast FOIL would be difficult because you have a 2 as a coefficient here and a 1 as a coefficient here. So I'm going to do that out, all right, using FOIL. And so my first 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times the negative 5x is negative 10xy. First outer inner. Negative y times a positive x is negative xy. And then a negative y times a negative 5x is a positive 5y. I'm going to combine like terms. 2x squared minus 11xy plus 5y. Right there. That is my final answer. Okay. Now, again, we're going to work backwards because we're going to factor. We are given this product, and we need to find the two factors that equal that. So in front of the g is a 1. The coefficient is a 1, so I know I have g and g. And I'm still looking for two factors of 60 that added or subtracted will give me 4. You can list them out, 1 and 60, 2 and 30. And I'm going to skip a little. And 10 and 6. All right. And because this is positive, I know that I'm going to have a positive 10 minus 6. Because plus 10 plus a negative 6 gives me a positive 4. Okay. So this is my answer right here. G plus 10 and times G minus 6. You might have to put your thinking caps on for the next section. And there's multiple answers, and you are only, if you came up with multiple, fabulous, but you're only required to have one answer here. So in the first example, all right, we're working backwards with this factoring method because we're given the product, but we need to find possible answers for B, all right? And B in this situation can have a lot of answers. It could be 11, negative 11, 4, negative 4, 1, and negative 1. And to test that out, first I listed the factors of 12, which are 1 and 12, 2 and 6, and 3 and 4. And as you can see, then I tested these out using FOIL, right? Here's my factors. I can have a positive 12 and a negative 1, or a negative 12 and a positive 1. This answer right here would give me my positive 11. This answer right here would give me my negative 11, all right? And then I applied the other factors and FOIL to get possible answers for B. So this is actually what you're looking for, right? It could be 11x plus 12, x squared. And then I had this one, then I'd have a negative 11x plus 12. I'm just showing you some examples to get your thinking in the right spot for numbers 10 and 11, all right? And 10 and 11 both have multiple answers. And so you're keeping your eye on the fact that we're looking from multiples of 15, and the multiples of 15 are 1 and 15 and 3 and 5, all right? And then we're writing out what our choices could be to get the answer. I need a little more room here. All right, so start thinking. If I have the factors 1 and 15 and 3 and 5, how can I arrange them? Then FOIL back to find, FOIL back to find my answer. So I can have x minus 15, because I have to get x minus 1. I can have x plus 15 and x plus 1. I can use the 3 and 5, x plus 3, and x plus 5, and then x minus 3, and x minus 5. And because I have a positive value right here in front of the last term, I know that these signs right here have to be the same, because that's the only way. When you multiply a positive by a positive, you get a positive, or you multiply a negative by a negative to get a positive. All right. So when I FOIL these out, my choices are 8, positive 8, negative 8, positive 16, and negative 16. When I perform fast FOIL on all these are the possible solutions that I could get for B. And again, really, I'm only requiring, or we are only requiring, well, it does say all, but 1 or 2 is good for me. All right, so then 11, now here's where you probably want to come up with them all again. You're looking at the factors of 21 and the fact that this is positive, all right? So that when I test it out, I'm going to have the same sign inside my parentheses. All right, so the factors of 21 are 1 and 21 and 3 and 7. So these are all going to be x's. I'm going to have 7 and 3 and 7. Oh, nicely wrote 3 already. And then I also have to test out 1 and 21. Because this coefficient is 1, I know these will be x and x. And then because this is a positive, I know these are going to be the same sign. Let's test both cases. So your final answer is 10, positive 10, negative 10. These are the choices that B could be. And negative 10. Oops, sorry, I apologize for that. Positive 22 and a negative 22. All right, I hope you found Flashback Friday to be fun. Bye now.